San Pedro Mayor Daniel Danny Guerrero exited the courtroom of Chief Justice Kenneth Benjamin with his mind at ease.
It has been at ease. I mean, I have been very confident. I think the election was clean, like I mentioned, from day one. And the malicious act of the People's United Party didn't work. I mean, because they want to gain power no matter what way or form. So to me, we have been very calm, very smooth, and the court has proven that we have been elected, legally.
In an oral ruling, the Chief Justice ruled in favor of the San Pedro Town Council, dismissing the election petition filed by the P.U.P. San Pedro Mayoral candidate Andrew Perez and his slate. Perez had asked the Chief Justice to declare the March 7 San Pedro election results void. Perez contested that procedural irregularities during the election process greatly affected the results. The Chief Justice disagreed.
From day one, we knew that the people's wish was to elect a U.D.P. town council, and it just has been proven today that it was a very valid election. And here we are. It's a second win for the United Democratic Party, so we have defeated the People's United Party twice. And I also must apologize for the P.U.P. bringing the public officers, to the courts, actually throwing them under the bus. I think they did an excellent job, the public officers, but yet we still prove them on a democracy and on a system that works, and the Supreme Court ruled in our favor. So, we knew this from day one.
In his ruling, the Chief Justice stated that while there were procedural irregularities, those irregularities did not substantially affect the results. Perez, however, still believes otherwise.
The underlying factor we need to look at is that we cannot forget that serious errors were made during the process, and that was acknowledged by the judge, and that is important. And we, from the People's United Party, want to thank our voters as well for supporting us, and at the same time want to know as well that we did our part in fighting and ensuring that fair elections are being held and that democracy, which is a key word, is preserved. And that is why we felt that we gave a good fight. We never gave up. We felt that our rights were violated, and that is why we fought on that premise. No? And we cannot forget that. I think last but not least, I think one of the most important things is we remain convinced and more than sure that the People's United Party in San Pedro, the residents of the town, residents living in San Pedro, voted overwhelmingly for the People's United Party, for the full PUP 7.
Those errors were after the fact, and actually the election was won. The People's United Party people signed it off, and that was an election done. After what happened is after the fact. So the election was a clean election.
After consultation with lawyers, Perez will decide whether to appeal the case. He asserted that their claim was genuine and the court's time was not wasted.
We had a responsibility at the very beginning until now. Again, let's not forget, I go back to what the court said, what the judge said, that many errors were made. And this needs to be a learning lesson, and that we, from a party and the nation, has to be on vanguard. Because although we still remain convinced that errors that still kind of affect the results, we must be on the lookout for the entire nation. So I think a lesson has been learned. So anything for you to be saying that this is all a waste of time, I shoot it down. Plain and straight. Shoot it.
Sir, did you anticipate this result? Because we know that on Facebook you've been campaigning to contest the constituency. So one might interpret that as you've been anticipating this particular result.
None at all. Anticipation is not the word to say that we're getting what we expect today. The work of the People's United Party and Andrew Perez is that work must continue. The show must go on. We cannot just stay on our laurels and say, oh, we'll see what the judge is going to be. So I shoot that down as well, plain and straight. We have to carry on, and this is what we have to do. We bring closure today, but a message has been sent. And I think the entire nation listening is clearly watching that the People's United Party is not going to lay over and roll over. It is a message here sent that we fight and we carry on. And here I stand today declaring myself as offering myself as candidate for the People's United Party. So any correlation or tying up of anticipation, none at all. We have to move on though.
The parties are to cover their own cause. Reporting for News 5, Hipolito, Novelo.